Ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, zipper boo, 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 zipper boo, boo, zipper boo, zipper boo, zipper boo, boo, zipper boo, zipper boo, zipper boo, boo. We are back with Twitch Plays D&D. This is the second time we've done this. One of the amazing goals of the Neuro Subathon Fall 2025. You've got us 3 weeks into a show, and this is a special broadcast. It's called Twitch Plays D&D. Are you ready? Are you ready? We have 15 participants in this Twitch Plays D&D. Just gonna do the intro here, and then gonna pass it along to our the individual who's gonna be kind of walking y'all through what's going on here. But basically, we have 15 people who are gonna participate from Twitch chat, and we're gonna see what happens to them. As a side note and a warning, your character may and will probably die, so don't be sad. And if you feel like you're gonna be too sad, just get to a safe area, get some help, talk to someone about it. But you'll probably die here. But if you don't, it'll be really cool. So we'll see. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for getting us to this goal. We're about to begin here. Be right back in just 1 second.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Carl the Kenku, the bird-bearing biggest and thickest of birds, and we're going to be going into the Underdark here today. This story is called Rumble in the Underdark, and I will be your guide leading you into this town. As a note, please stay safe and watch out for any dangerous hazards, and really assess the risks that you're about to take. Let's begin. Once upon a time, in a place deep, deep in the Underdark, where the air was musty and wet and cold, and the only lights were glowing mushrooms. There was an arena that many people were invited to every once in so while. A place where people put it all on the line, and many gave their lives in the name of glory, or in the name of coercion, or some other reason they were there. Let me set the scene for you. You're arriving to an old, what looks to be ruined, stone structure deep in the Underdark. You can tell this was made a while ago. You can tell that it's not very well maintained. But you also know that there are very wealthy clientele who are there, who have a stake in this tournament. And you have been invited to this tournament for one reason or another. This is their story. You all arrive. I have a very large beak. You all arrive at the arena, and you notice there's a little space for a tavern or galley kind of in the front. It's a place where people are having food and drink. It's very, very dirty. The floor is just so sticky. You wonder what was even there. Like, how could something be this sticky? And it makes you concerned on a deep level. Nevertheless, you all kind of sticky squish your way over to the barkeep. And the barkeep assesses whether or not you would like a beverage. Each combatant is given 1 free drink, if they would wish to, before their battle. So we're going to go through the names here, and we're going to see who would like to take the drink before battle. Thank you all, by the way, those of you who have participated. We have 16 characters this evening. Okay, just to run through the names here, roll call of your characters. You may say in the Twitch chat who is your character if you would choose to, but who cares? Dr. Hyde, August Roblurch, Drogo, Jimion Pantego, Domorak, Loki, Eidenhere, Krez Sovngarde, Rump, Johnny Appleseed, Lizard Wizard, Crumple Stillskin, Madrthnir, Chewy Dumpling, Lay, and Amendalia. Welcome. Welcome to this bar. As you give your responses as we go, please type your answer in the form of your character name, blah blah blah. So you would say Loki needs to use the restroom, and he goes over to use the restroom. Or you could say, Rump claps his hands excitedly with what is happening. Just so we can keep track of who is what, because your Twitch names are different. It's a lot, okay? But welcome. Would you like to take a drink? Tell me if you would like to have it, and then you will roll for what happens to you. Let's get a tally here. How many mods do we have? Do you mean like mods on the Twitch Plays D&D campaign? Jimmy Pantego. What's that you're pouring? Smells like wet bark. My kind of drink. Coming right up. The bartender gives you a drink. The drink, it does indeed smell odd. And you can feel a very pungent, strong, alcoholic bite. Just from the smell alone. Loki brings their own drinks according to their lore above. Loki is a half-elf who dislikes pineapple on pizza unless it's a chicken pineapple pizza. Indeed. August. Too filthy a beverage I've never met. Ah, you'll choose not to have the beverage. Just keeping track here. Loki, you hand the beverage. Oh, no, you didn't have the beverage. Jimmy Pantego. Oh my gosh. You're kidding me. Jimmy Pantego, you rolled a natural 1, which means something bad is going to happen to you from drinking this. You actually are going to have disadvantage in combat. So, next time you're in battle, you are very uneasy. The beverage really doesn't agree with your system. As you take drinks, you like it, but at the same time, your body is retching like... And you can tell you're not going to be at your best, or sharpest. Madrithnia says, may I have a mushroom latte with steamed goat's milk, please? Yes, you may, coming right up. And the barkeep goes over and starts making a mushroom latte. There are mushrooms all over the place in the Underdark, so that's pretty easy. It's not a very expensive beverage, but every combatant is offered one beverage. Rump claps his hands excitedly as he watches Lay drink the offer. Wait, did Lay drink it? I don't see that. Dr. Hyde, without a second thought, chugs it down. Dr. Hyde rolls for the drink. Rolls a 13. He's fine. It tastes pretty good to you. You've had something similar to it before in the Underdark, and it really is actually rather decent. You feel invigorated and enjoy the beverage. Dr. Hyde, he doesn't care about that. It's his stuff. Rump hits the drink. Rump rolls a 13. Also, kind of cheersing Dr. Hyde and being like, this is some good stuff. Yeah, this is really good. I like this. Krez Sovngarde refuses the drink and goes to stand in the corner. Very well. You are allowed to abstain from a beverage. It is not forced upon you. Another adventurer says, no thanks. Crumplestiltskin smiles. Their eyes light up. Take the drink of blood and down it. You want a blood drink? Okay, you might have an upset stomach. That's a 5. You feel a bit uneasy. Feels a little bit wonky, you know. You're not really enjoying it too much, but you're okay. Lay crosses her arms and leans on one foot, inspecting the disgusting environment. One of you short, poor people do it. Go, make yourself useful. Oh my gosh. She's making people clean the floor. A couple of goblins that were meant to work at the establishment are kind of pushed around and being like, go clean the floor, it's a mess. You're making the guests mad. And they try to clean the floor, but it's still very sticky. Madrithnia. Yes, you have your mushroom latte. You don't drink it. Jimmy Pantego's eyes water, his throat burns, his soul briefly leaves his body and comes back. Gods, you nearly died from that drink. Maybe you're allergic. You should probably talk to a cleric about that or something. Orgos says, barkeep, you misunderstand. I love a filthy beverage. Pour me a double. Oh my gosh. Okay, well, you rolled twice then. 15 actually went down pretty well. You like that. And a 12. Yeah, maybe it was a bit much, but it was still a good brew. Loki sneaks some of his own creations into the drinks being dispersed. Oh my gosh. Let's roll to see if any of the creations do anything. It's a 2. The creations that you put in are basically just different ingredients, and even though you're cackling to yourself thinking you've poisoned the well, it actually improved the beverages a little bit, so it backfired. Zadri sips the latte and asks if they have anything to eat. Yes, we have quite a bit to eat. We have meats, we have vegetables, and we have bread. But the bread is moldy, because it's the Underdark, and it's very moldy and damp here. And as you all have your beverages and you're kind of, mingling a little bit before the fight, you're sizing each other up. You're wondering if you're going to fight each other or if you have some fate different from that altogether. You don't really know. But you're enjoying your drinks, some of you more than others. You're enjoying each other's company. And you notice just the kind of the rubble and movement of the people who are attending this tournament. And as you move on from having your drinks, you kind of mosey through some stone halls. You're all kind of filing through, carrying your equipment. Obviously, you would have your weapons and so on. We have a mixture of classes here. Dr. Hyde is a fighter, dragonborn. He's kind of walking in, very confident in himself, a little bit side-eyeing people, more of a suspicious man. There's a criminal. Dr. Hyde, he loves fighting to the death. It makes him feel alive, so he's not scared at all to fight. This is actually exactly where he wants to be. He dislikes weak opponents, but making them stronger is his specialty, so even if he doesn't kill someone, he's still down to teach him a lesson, as it were. Orgos Rubbelurch is a cleric, dwarf with an acolyte background who loves loyalty, hates betrayal, and likes cleansing things with holy fire. Drogo is a male monk farmer halfling, so basically a kung fu hobbit. They like peace and justice, wisdom and balance, and they dislike evil, greed, bandanas, and mangoes. He shall not suffer a mango to go unsquished. Filfnir begins to sing the Song of Six Pants. Oh my gosh, Filfnir. Jimmy Pantego really doesn't like that. He hates songs about pants. Why would you do that? You're going to upset him keeping on with this song. Jimmy Pantego, already feeling kind of uneasy, maybe spitting up the beverage a little bit, starts to shake his fist at you and be like, hey, stop doing that! Stop doing that! Stop talking about my pants! But you just keep doing that. And it's very awkward for everyone. Some people think it's funny, other people think it's cringe. It's just kind of like, why are they doing that specifically? No one sings about people's pants. Nevertheless, Jimmy Pantego is too weak to shake his fist. After rolling the natural one on his drink. It's very ungood. Crumplestiltskin is a goblin. Blood is what we do. Yes, goblins are definitely seedier creatures than some of the other cultures. Culturally, anyway. Loki thinks thoughtfully. All good test in making perfect mixed alcoholic drink with healing properties. Yes, everything is a test, Keep training, keep practicing. Many people are wondering to themselves, how could you hate mangoes? And it's like, well, if you try hard enough, you can hate just about anything. So we have Drogo, he's the farmer kung fu halfling. Jimmy Pantego, the male ranger outlander half-elf, who is currently vomiting. Likes obsessively polishing his boots and collecting weird rocks, and is definitely going to need more of a boot polish after this, having the boots covered in throw-up. And he hates fish and songs about pants, and there's a song about pants, so he's literally having the worst day of his whole life. Dolmarak, the male sorcerer criminal, who's a human, loves casting fire spells and cooking. No doubt combining these in some steps. Dislikes being told what to do and under-seasoned food. Very good. Mandrathanir says, hey, I don't like mangoes either. And there starts to be a little clique of people who form of these fighters who are like, yeah, mangoes they're actually really overrated. And they start to talk about why mangoes suck. And people who are listening are like, why do you care so much about mangoes to even have a hate club for mangoes? But Nevertheless, this conversation begins to brew. Loki, the male cleric, is a guild artisan, half-elf. Loves yummy foods, healing the wounded, and crafting. He dislikes pineapple on pizza, unless it's chicken pineapple pizza. And he hates traffic because he wants to get the wagons going. Interesting. To be so fussy about movement of vehicles, but it makes sense if you want to have open thoroughfare. Aiden here is a bard sage half-elf. Likes yew, fjords, and the number 7. They dislike goblins, tinnitus, and alcohol. That's fair. Krez Sovngarn, the female ranger outlander elf, likes shenanigans, sarcasm, and a bit of chaos. Dislikes the rude and entitled. Let's see if they get along with try. Alright, we've got Johnny Appleseed, the male paladin folk hero human, who hates shower pisses. Rump is a male bard sailor, the human, who likes sea shanties, treasure maps, treasure, and adventures, so Rump will be having a rather good time here, so far. Doesn't like anyone mocking their music or art, and doesn't like silence. Well, they would be happy that there was a song about pants that was being playing. Loki sees Dr. Hyde acting up and prepares to heal whoever he stabs next. Oh my gosh, what's the Dr. Hyde doing? Who among you is the strongest? I don't care if you're a god, you will fall by my blade. Oh my gosh, Dr. Hyde, the Dragonborn criminal, is really puffing his chest out, challenging anyone. Fight me! Who among you is strong enough to defeat me? I don't care who we're going to fight in here, I will fight you. I've been fighting people my whole life, I'm a criminal. I do crimes. You think I care about your rules and your structures? I will fight you. And some of the people are looking at him like, relax, dude, you're gonna have to fight, that's why we're here, just relax. But he's still very up and at them. Rump sees Pantango vomiting and sings a song about pants to piss off Pantango and cause a scene for everyone. Oh my gosh, now there are 2 bards doing a duet about pants. Madrithnir says, mangoes are like mushy apples that always have a worm in them. Oh, and Dr. Hyde, I'm probably the strongest. I was raised by giants. Oh, wow. Lay doesn't think she's rude and entitled. She's right every single time, so... yeah, so she doesn't see the problem. Johnny Appleseed is a male paladin folk hero human who hates shower pisses. Lizard Wizard is a male sorcerer outlander dragonborn who likes setting things on fire and dislikes water. Oh, they'll get along with the other fire user. Crumple Stiltskin is a cloister warlock folk hero goblin who also hates shower pisses, Megans, and no-cav hoes, like strippers. And we have thusly been able to designate the award of most openly degenerate character in the campaign so far. Madrithnir is a male fighter guild artisan, a dragonborn, who likes giants, and dislikes not being good enough for his parents. That's fair, so say we all. Chewy Dumpling is a malish monk, hermit half-orc, who finds magic users incredibly sexy. Oh dear. Secretly wishes to make forbidden love to a goblin. Oh dear. Hates dwarves, tieflings, and goblins. And other short things. Thinks using weapons is only for the weak. Spells are better, I guess. Lay is a female paladin noble human who likes gold, herself, and Idrak. She dislikes Shadowheart, Githyanki, and poor people. Valid. Amendiel. No. Amendiel. Oh, that's a nice name once you get it correct. Took me a couple tries. Is a disgraced paladin who make a grave mistake when serving the Order. They have a lot of self-hatred due to the past. They're a human. They like food, goodness, and faith, and dislike evil and bad people. Makes sense. That's very straightforward. And those are our adventurers we have so far. Thank you so much for participating with us. Orgar says, who here hates dwarves? Really trying to stir the pot. They're stirring the pot. Some people are getting a little bit sloshed. Not really guarding their tongue as much as they would if they were sober. Krez offers some gold to anyone who would take up Dr. Hyde. Oh, he's starting a prize fight before we even get in. Does anyone want to take the offer to fight Dr. Hyde? Gold prize from Unreal Chaos. Let's roll to see how much gold he's offering. It's a 19. Unreal Chaos, Krez is offering a shitload of gold. For most people, they would be just amazed that someone can throw that kind of money around. Who wants to fight Dr. Hyde? He says. 2,000 gold to the winner. Mandrathenia isn't male, he's male, he gets around. I'm not going to judge. Chewie says, here, here, down with the craven dwarves. Crumplestiltskin says, I've got a butter knife. I'm with all the shits. I don't know what that means. Orgos says, Chewie, watch yourself in this place. You may not have any allies as you think. Rump would like to fight. All right. Lay rolls her eyes and says, oh god, that's barely even Daddy's daily allowance money, as if. Clearly unimpressed at the massive sum of money that's being offered to the winner. All right, well, Rump is the first to step up. So as a reminder, Rump is a male bard sailor human, so he's definitely an adventurer and down for an adventure here to take this fight. Dr. Hyde rips off his shirt. I'll give you first hit if you have the courage. Alright, well, we will then roll to fight and see what happens. So we will call the challenger Rump, and we will call Lolit the boss here in this case, because Dr. Hyde issued the challenge, sponsored by Unreal Chaos. So we're going to roll for Rump now. It's a d20, and whatever we get is going to dictate how well it goes. If it's less than a 10, Rump loses. If it's more than a 10, Rump wins. Makes sense. So people are all kind of gathering around this fight that's developing. There's a bit of a circle, and it's enough for them to maneuver. So it's a bard and a, what's the other class? A fighter. Yeah, bard versus fighter. The dragonborn criminal thief loves fighting to the death. He doesn't care. By the way, would you two want to fight to the death or fight to a KO? Your question. Option to you. I guess that's also an option to Krez, to see what kind of fight they're sponsoring. Madrathnia says, Ifafnia, do you have any mushroom-flavored popcorn? Ifafnia pulls out a bag of corn to eat while watching the fight. Brought their own corn from home. Dr. Hyde, when I fight it's to the death or nothing. And then Rump also says, fight to the death. Very well, chat. We are going to have our first battle in this Rumble of the Underdark. This is Krez Sovngarde versus Rump. High roll is Rump wins, above a 10. Below is Rump loses. It's a 16. Rump, the sailor bard. Surprising that he's as quick as he is. Unassuming, not boasting, but fighting. The battle is close. They're both very powerful. You can see why. You can see why Dr. Hyde boasts so much. He's tall. He's broad. His swings are forceful. And Rump knows if a single one lands upon him, he'll be dead in an instant. But he keeps his distance. Jeering, mocking with his vicious mockery. Ha, you missed. Ha, you missed. Ha, you missed. And they fight on for some time. The battle goes on for minutes. People are cheering. Some want the Dragonborn to win. Others the human. The sailor and the criminal. Both salty fighters. Both very seasoned. Both from backgrounds of extreme violence and prejudice. Are locked in a battle to the death. There are scratches and cuts on each of them. Yet still they persist. Somehow, the bard tricks the fighter with a hypnotic pattern. He's looking up at the pattern. He's like, hey, that's a really cool pattern. What's that pattern doing now? How long has that been there? Who put that there? And the whole time, Rump rocks around the back, where he doesn't expect it, sneaks up on him, and then stabs right in the neck shoulder. My neck shoulder. And he gasps as he falls down and says, you were stronger than I thought. You better win this or I'll kill you. With his last breath. Ugh. Rump wipes the sweat from his brow, breathing heavily. Having fought an epic and mighty battle, potentially his toughest opponent yet. And he heeds those words and remembers them well. You better win this whole thing. People are silent. They didn't expect for something this violent to happen this soon. Loki runs in to heal. A cleric goes to attend the fallen battle, or a fallen combatant. Better thyself, Loki, let's see what you roll to heal. Well, 17. So even though he's very cut up, Dr. Hyde he's super dead, right? He's very tough, but he took way too much damage to stay alive. Nevertheless, the wounds are still fresh, and Loki's magic is rather strong. And he casts a high-rank spell. There's a glimmer of light, and everyone says, ooh, whoa, that's pretty cool. And the light touches onto Dr. Hyde's chest. And he takes a breath again. He's back. He's not dead yet. People are amazed. They're like, wow, that's really cool. You just brought him back. He was so freshly dead, I guess you could still do it. And Loki kind of brushes their shoulder off and like, yep, got him. Crazy. His wounds have closed. He's going to be all right. And at this point, people sort of gather themselves now that the fight is concluded. There's still a clear winner, so Krez enjoys watching the chaos that she created, and no doubt can give the winnings to the respective party Rump. But an excellent bout. Some of the barkeep and their assistants go over to Dr. Hyde and tend to him, get some towels. There's a lot of blood, so even though they're going to survive, there's still a big mess to be cleaned up. Good fight. Good combatants. And as people kind of go through having witnessed a fight to the death and then a resurrection, there's been a lot going on that day. Most people who have been somewhat drunk have more or less sobered up, really thinking about the fragility and yet resilience of the spirit of fighters. And it's also shown the mettle of the contestants of this whole tournament, who are very strong indeed. As the people gather, they're invited to pass down this hallway. It's made of stone, and there's a wind kind of rushing through the windows. And it's musty, cold air of the Underdark. It's dimly lit, and it starts to quiet as you leave the bustle of the tavern. It's hard to see. There's water dripping from the ceiling, and there are creaks and moans of the wooden parts of the structure. People are getting focused now. They're gathering themselves, thinking about their combat abilities. And people are called by name one at a time to face in a duel in the arena, in single combat, against a chosen foe. The first name that's called Krez Somgod. They hear a name. Versus Giant Scorpion! And in this arena you can see as you can tell, a giant scorpion that's sort of walking around. It's got its pinchers. Some people like poked it out into the arena with sticks. And you have to fight this giant scorpion. How do you prepare yourself? How do you enter the arena? I leave this to you. People go around who aren't currently in the fight. They find their seats. The seats are made of stone. Pretty hard stone, so it's not really much of a cushion. So if you wanted a cushion, you would need to bring your own cushion. So, kind of finding your seats. If you want to sit next to anyone in particular and talk about what you're doing, you're free to do so. So the giant scorpion is in the center. You've got a big crowd of people who are already there, just cheering people on. They're like, let's go! Get him, scorpion! Some people are cheering for the scorpion, other people are cheering for the combatant. It's kind of a mixed reception in the chat. Nevertheless, Krez is quiet, focused. An Outlander elf, a character that definitely has seen combat before, grabs her weapons, takes a swig of a canteen, and enters. Her steps are soft. Elf rangers are known for their stealth, their subterfuge. They're known for their ability to aim and to assess things of the wild, and this scorpion is actually a perfect matchup. Krez hunts. A scorpion is an animal, and for that reason, they will have advantage in their combat. Let's see how they do. 11 is the first roll. 3 is the second roll. It's a good thing you had a good matchup, otherwise you would have been super dead. With an 11, you assess the giant scorpion. You can almost see its weak points. Even though it has thick chitinous armor and it's going... There's a big spiky tail behind it. You're not afraid. Well, you're a bit afraid because it's a giant scorpion and it could kill you in a single pinch or sting. But nevertheless, you've actually killed giant scorpions before. So this is more of a clinical execution. With an 11, it was a very close fight. This is actually the biggest giant scorpion you've ever seen. And it makes you wonder if you're going to be able to defeat it. Nevertheless, you keep your distance, exhausted as you are, running around the arena, shooting it with the bow. And with the 11th arrow, the beast is felled. Its pinching for the last time, kind of twitching on the ground. And you survive. Exhausted, winded, but victorious. The people cheer. Yeah, let's go! That's crazy! And you exit the arena in victory. Who among you would like to fight next? Shouts the announcer. Krez is cutting off the stinger as a trophy. Lay deliberately chooses seats as far away from everyone else as possible and lays on his side, watching with deep disinterest and general disdain. Crumplestiltskin steps forth. Shmee! Says the little goblin. Very well. Send in the ogre jelly. Oh no, the ochre jelly. And the gate lifts. This big gate lifts. And then a big ooze blob is just kind of pushed out. It's pushed out by shovels. They're just like, go out there. And this ooze just kind of oozes its way into the middle of the arena. Let's see how you do. A 19. By the gods. You know everything about oozes for some reason. Being an extreme degenerate, oozes are something that you're very proficient in, you understand, on a deep and resonating level. Everyone is aghast with your acquaintance with how to defeat an ooze, and some of them even take some notes. It's like, wow, I didn't even know an ooze could be dismantled in that way. Goblins really know their way around an ooze, I guess. People are cheering in the chat, in the audience, which is basically a chat in the ancient times. They're like, wow, that was pretty weird. And you are triumphant. All done. Who's next? Shouts the announcer. Who among you is brave enough to fight the next foe? Rump, the human bard, casts a buff on Pantego to help him sober up. Well, that's very nice of you. Madrathnir is asking, hey, does anyone have a cushion I could borrow? If Loki gets any rolling, you would like a bonus on evasion as a character has a strong mandate not to kill, while healing himself and blinding enemies. Would you like to fight next? I understand. Yes, you may fight next. So you're taking an extra emphasis to stay alive and not kill. And you would prefer a KO. Very well. The gate lifts. And out comes a spider. A phase spider. Its eyes are glowing. All 8 of them. A bright, luminous blue. It's like moving its long legs around. It's nearly human-sized. And definitely quick. And it teleports around. It phases. You say, whoa. Let's see. I'll give you advantage on trying to survive, since you're taking a defensive approach. It doesn't matter. You rolled a nat 20, which means that you dumpster this phase spider so thoroughly that people are amazed. They're wondering, how did you do that? You seem like you were playing defensively, but then all of the spider legs were just cooked in holy fire. Insane. Even one of the heels bounced off of you and then ended up hurting the phase spider in a manner of magical physics that no one had seen up to that moment. This phase spider, many of the tournament organizers were saying, well, I guess we need a different kind of phase spider next time. Oh my gosh. The blinding holy light completely destroying the phase spider. Well done. You've won your matchup. Next. Jimmy manages to gather enough strength to quilt a small cushion for Bandritnir from some blanket scraps and a piece of his bedroll. That's very nice of him after being sobered up. Ifafnir says, my sword is sharp enough now. Oh. Ifafnir. I don't see you here. We can roll for you anyway. What's your race, class, and background? Crumple Stillskin saying, I can go in, you got fire in your blood. There's only one matchup per person. The tournament has rules. The tournament has structure. The tournament needs to have this structure. We can't just have people fighting infinite number of things. We have a limited number of gladiators that we can send in this arena. So while you did very well in your fight, and we're very proud of you, it's one fight per person. Please collect your winnings at the front desk. And then the person goes and he points over to a little kind of kiosk area that says winnings at the top in kind of a scribbled font on a piece of wood bound to the stone. And there's a person at the winnings table who's a little kobold. He's like, hey, come get your winnings. You did great. You did great. Get your winnings. Come here. Come on. That was great. Tell me about it. Tell me about it. He invites you over there so you can go and talk to him. Ifafnir goes into fight. Elf Bard Sage. Elf Bard Sage. I thought yeah, there you are. You spelled it differently before. You spelled it Idin here. And now it's Ifafnir. I'm going to update that. This is confusing. Ifafnir, the Bard Sage Half-Elf, versus a Myconid. It's like a mushroom creature. Kind of waddles out as the gate ticks up. It's like waddling out slowly. It's about human height. It's a recomposed sort of mushroom entity that was once a person but then was infested with mushrooms. Doesn't really talk. They communicate psychically with each other through their link. So a bit unnerving. And this elf sage is going to try and take it out. As a note, Ifafnir likes fjords, the number 7, and you, and dislikes goblin, tinnitus, and alcohol. So haven't really had a great time so far since there have been a lot of goblins and there's been a lot of alcohol. Let's see their fight versus the Myconid. It's a 1. Unfortunately, the Myconid is surprisingly quick on its feet. Apparently it was from a super fast human that was reconstituted as a mushroom. And the Myconid so quickly just punches you right in the face. Bashes you into the wall, into the side of the arena, and it was just, ooh! Ooh! That's gotta hurt. And the mushroom just keeps on just punching, just simple normal punches, but it's a really quick mushroom. Really caught you off guard. You thought it was gonna be like a slow, lumbering zombie, but it really had a lot of quickness to it. And it ends up smashing you so thoroughly that you are basically turned into a pancake. And then people have to go pull the mushroom off of it. Like, no, stop, it's over! Stop, it's over! Stop, it's over! And then people see the pancake remains of a very brave half-elf who was very good-looking, but nevertheless, in this arena, they were a mushroom pancake. Before dying, they identify with the mushroom and share some sage knowledge in a way that has some understanding and compassion and wisdom, not screaming of fear, but passing along a good message to this worthy opponent in battle. We shall remember you. And people kind of bow their heads in respect. Chewy Dumpling says, that fungus has fight. Chewy Dumpling spits in the general direction of the kobold. Excellent. Great fights today, ladies and gentlemen. Great fights today, ladies and gentlemen. Who is next in battle? We need another contestant. We need another adventurer. One of the many tournament-invited people who would like to fight the next crazy, mysterious monster. Put your life on the line. Put everything at risk. Not everyone has died. Some people have lived. Who's next? Don't be afraid. Don't be shy. Madrithia says, ew, that looked like it hurt. August stands. I want to end this charade. Send out 2 of your finest fighters. Oh my gosh. August. Standing tall. The male cleric, acolyte dwarf, or at least tall for a dwarf, who loves loyalty, hates betrayal, and loves cleansing by holy fire, has had enough of this murder. They want to defeat all the enemies so the rest of the people are safe. Very heroic, very noble. I respect that. But then, the gate lifts. And 2 hook horrors, large creatures with massive talons, screech, and they walk into the arena across from you. There are 2 of them. This is not going to be an easy fight. Let's see how you do. A 12. It's a difficult fight, but you are strong. You have confidence. You have resolve. You believe in your deity. If you may share your deity, you may do so. And you know that they will watch over you. It's an epic battle. It's very close. And you will not give up. The people are amazed. Wow, he's taking on 2 at once? 2 at once? That's crazy. No one should do that. Why is he doing that? Does he know he doesn't get paid double for that? Nevertheless, you are firm and steadfast, and you're fighting. With a bonk of your mace, and a bzzz of your holy fire, the hook horrors become cooked horrors. And there's a cheer in the chat. Well done, well done, well done! Good job! The people in the arena are cheering for you. Impressive. The tournament organizers take note. They're like, well, this guy, maybe we should invite him again. That was very good. That was really good. Jimmy on Pantego says, I will go as well. Not much to lose. And so, after being bullied by booze and by songs of pants, Jimmy and Pantego, the male ranger outlander, steps into the arena and faces an enormous tentacle. What? It sort of squirms up from the entrance and stands just kind of flopping there in the middle of the arena. Let's see how he does. A 17. Jimmy and Pantego, having been healed from his sickness and being very generous in helping others, shows his fierce side as well. He steps in, unafraid of the large flopping tentacle, and gets ready. He's a ranger, and this is a beast, and he slays beasts. He's an outlander, so he's seen many strange things, and dealt with them, all alone. Even though his boots are covered in throw-up, he's focused, and he is ready. And as the tentacle tries to strike at him, he shoots it with an arrow, and another, and another, and another, and another, and another, and another, and another. And the tentacle's kind of spewing purple blood everywhere. It's really gross. Some people are like, wow, that's insane. Other people are like, ew, gross. Nevertheless, Jimmy and Pantego is mighty indeed, and fells the monster. Thud! Hits on the floor. And then a bunch of goblins, like 20 goblins, go and try to pull it back into the area where the stuff is kept. The people are amazed. They had never seen such a fight before, and amazed to see such a fight again. Nevertheless, it was very one-sided. Well done. Well done, Jimmy and Pantego. You've had a rough day, but you did well. You did very well. August struggles to get over the wall into the arena, but was very powerful. All right, who's next? Who's next? Bring out your strength. Bring out your fighting skills. We've had some crazy fights today. We need more contestants. We've got plenty of beasts and monsters to be slain. Get your payout. And the kobold, he's kind of yelling, get your payout, get your payout, get your payout. Trying to hype people up. Rump, the human bard, after already winning a fight, says, let me see the best you've got. Very well. Rump steps into the arena, and across from him is a gargoyle, a winged creature, looking a bit of stone, fierce, baring its fangs, hissing at you. But you've already tested battle today, and this gargoyle doesn't scare you. Let's see how you do. The beast is strong, it's swift, and it can fly. It's kind of flapping about, like trying to avoid your strikes. You're unable to hit it with your melee weapon, but you viciously mock it. You say, you silly stone bird. You're just a silly stone bird. No one cares about your stuff. And that actually really hurts the gargoyle's feelings. And he feels less compelled to fight well and strike true. He's like, am I a stone bird? I thought it was a gargoyle. And he's really questioning himself. And in that moment, in that lapse of judgment, you're able to thrust your cutlass at them. You throw a sword, and it just right through the center of the gargoyle. Then it flops on the ground. Wow. Rump has 2-0 for the day. Insane. Stilly Stonebird, I'll turn you back to dust. And as you stab the gargoyle and it smashes on the ground, you can see a mist of like dust that kind of floats off of it. And people say, ooh, ooh. Well done. You've succeeded in your battle. Next is Dr. Hyde. Dr. Hyde, no stranger to battle, And also no stranger to death today. He's already died once. But he was very lucky to have a cleric nearby. He steps into the arena. The gate, from where the monsters are dragged, lifts up. And you hear the boom, 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 boom of a huge half-ogre that steps out. This half-ogre is a good 9 feet tall, very heavy, very broad, and it stands to face you. Dr. Hyde draws his sword and pours all his spiritual energy into Bankai and approaches the beast. He's brave, he's brazen, and he maybe thinks that if he dies he might get resurrected again, so fuck it, you know. Let's see how he does against the half-orc, or half-ogre, excuse me. It's a 6. It's a good fight. They're crossing blades. People are amazed that a Dragonborn is going toe-to-toe with this half-ogre. But he loves the fight. And he does not fear death. Because he has died once already, and he's fine now, so why not? And with the ogre throwing their big club, many of their strikes miss. They're missing their strikes. But he starts to tire. He starts to get a bit exhausted. He's had 2 fights today, and even though his wounds were healed, his exhaustion was not. But he has a smile on his face, because he loves battle, and he loves a worthy opponent. The fights of his life flash before him. Intense, fierce, notes and memories of his victories past. The ogre lands a huge hit on his shoulder, and you fall. You blow dust out from your face and try to get your footing once again, but the ogre is about to run at you. You roll to the side and dodge the strike as it thuds against the earth. Then you rise once again, wiping blood from your mouth, still smiling. "Fight me!" you yell. And the ogre charges. You stick your foot out, and the ogre runs over and trips over your foot and falls on their face before they try to scramble and get back up again. You're not going down just yet. The ogre yells, "Roar!" Takes a big swing from above. You try your best to block it and parry and deflect, but it hits harder than you expect. Oh! And you fall to your knees. And then, another on your shoulder. Fall to the ground. "Well, finish it! You won't!" The ogre goes, "What do you mean I won't? It's a fight to the death." And they're locked in a stare. What will the ogre do? He was paid to fight to the death. He was challenged now to fight to the death. In that moment, Hyde, not allowing himself dishonor, takes his knife and cuts his belly. "I will die in battle. You're a coward." And then hits the ground with a thud. People are quiet. They see the severity of his actions. They see the intensity of this arena. The ogre scratches his head in confusion. And kind of saunters off, still unsure of what just went on. Well, that was a weird one. Who's next? Anyone want to go next? Still great payouts. The announcer is a little bit nervous. He's a little bit nervous about the last battle, but it was very high quality. It was a very good bout. Who's next? Who's next? Rump Cast a buff on Crumblestiltskin before he goes in for a fight. Crumblestiltskin, you want a second one? You already had a fight. You can't have all the fights. We've got a certain number of monsters in here, and each one gets one fight. But then, over the bickering cuts a voice. Madrithnir says, "Then again, I do want my parents to love me, so I will go." And they step into the arena. Across from them is a Dwegar bard. A grey dark dwarf, who's definitely silly. Even though the Dwegar are fierce people, an evil people, this evil person is a very silly evil person with brightly colored pants. And you're a little bit taken aback by how brightly colored those pants are, and you're like, why does this Dwegar bard have such bright pants? Where did they even get the materials for this in the Underdark? Nevertheless, you step forward. The male fighter, Dragonborn, fighting after his kin, the other Dragonborn, Mr. Hyde, or Dr. Hyde, steps into the arena. He's happy. He likes giants. There were just some giants in there, or an ogre anyway. And wants to bring honor to his family. And this bard immediately starts talking shit. Madrithnir raises his warhammer and asks the dwarf if he would please concede, so he doesn't have to hurt him. The dwarf jeers. "Ha! You think I would concede to you? No way! No way! You're shite! You can do nothing! You can do nothing at all! You think you're some big dragonborn scaly beast? Gonna breathe fire and kill me, are you? We'll do it!" He fires back at you, really trying to get under your skin with his vicious mockery. Let's see how you do. Oof. Madrithnir throws his warhammer at the bard and charges to grapple the dwarf. It's a close fight. They're both very strong. Madrithnir makes it very tense in melee combat as the bard struggles to peel him off. "Get off me! Get off me! Get off me!" But Madrithnir is relentless. He's trying to smack him with the hammer. He's trying to punch him, do whatever damage he can. Being very fierce and very strong. Fighters aren't known for their spells. It's pure martial prowess. It's his strength of arm. And Dragonborn are large. He has a big size advantage on the Dwegar, but the Dwegar is talking mad shit as they're going. Vicious mockery, vicious mockery, vicious mockery. Just saying all the mean stuff. He's like, taking bits of psychic damage, just feeling really unfocused with a terrible migraine. And eventually, rolling a 6 on this one, the Dwegar stands, having dizzied the fighter through mental attacks the entire time. Takes out a small dagger and stabs him in the tummy. Madrithnir, as he passes on, he's like, "My parents won't love me for this." And passes on to be with their ancestors. Good fight, good fight. The people clap. Some people are making comments about, "Man, that's such a mean way to fight, just talking mad shit the whole time with vicious mockery." That's so mean. Nevertheless, whatever works. And the Dwegar goes to the stand to go collect his winnings. The announcer barks at the crowd. "All right, who's next? All right, who's next? Who's next? Got a fight, got another fight. Who's next?" Some people are walking around, passing around concessions, yelling, fresh meat, vegetable, fresh meat, vegetable." And they've got some sauteed, kind of grilled vegetables that people have cooked over the fire. They're trying to sell them to people. Chewy Dumpling Kobold. Let me throw my fist in the ring, says the kobold. Very well. The kobold steps into the arena, and across from them is a Kuotoa, one of the fish people. Ah! Ah! Like a standing fish, humanoid kind of fish sort of person. They're still wet. They were just splashing around in some water before entering the arena, and their feet are kind of flap, 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 on the ground. Let's see how Chewy Dumpling does. They're a monk, hermit, half-orc, so standing taller and heavier than this Kuotoa. They find magic users incredibly sexy, but this is just a fish, and it's not a magic-using Kuotoa, so they don't really find it particularly sexy. But if they were a magic-using Kuotoa, well, who knows? Let's see how they do. Chewy Dumpling gasps. Ah! My hands may not hold on to this villain. Oh my gosh. They rolled it too. Chewy Dumpling, the half-orc, tries to use their kung fu on the Kuotoa, but the Kuotoa has a trident, and the trident is kind of keeping them at bay. It's got long range and 3 pointy parts. He stabs. He stabs. He's a kobold. Wait, what? Did I write it down wrong? He's a kobold. It's a kobold versus a Kuotoa. We'll fix it. We'll fix it in post. So the kobold and the Kuotoa are locked in an epic battle. The fish is very slippery. It's very hard for the monk to really find purchase in the grappling and grabs and punches, because a lot of the things are just kind of slicking off due to the wet scales on this fish. They're getting tired, just throwing punch after punch and not really finding purchase. And the trident is just stabbing away. This oof, there's a poke there. Oof, there's a poke there. And we're just starting to bleed, taking damage from this Kuotoa with the trident. But you're fighting hard. You're trying your best. But then the Kuotoa, all of a sudden, stabs you straight through the belly. Ugh! Ugh! Then it says something vaguely Kuotoan, some kind of fish babble. You don't know what it means, but you do know that you've been very thoroughly stabbed. The half-orc falls to the ground, being very hurt and very stabbed by the trident. The fish raises the trident over the head and then goes over to the stand to collect their winnings. Krez looks around to see who's still left. Who do they see? Who's still left? Any participants? Anyone who's not dead and hasn't had a fight? Anyone who's not dead and hasn't had a fight? Time for your fight. Come on out. The arena grows silent. The dead have been pulled from the arena. Blood all over the ground. And we seek the next combatant. August. I demand your finest fighter, says the dwarf. You already fought once today. 1 fight per person per day. You already fought 2 things. Next time you show up, we'll give you 3 things to fight, but it's 1 fight per person. Lei steps into the arena. She's very clean compared to most of the other combatants so far. Very expensive clothing as well. A lot of the people, anyone who's like abreast of current fashions in the Underdark and the Overworld, is like, wow, that looks very expensive. And what she's wearing is very expensive. Incredibly. Insanely expensive. A lot of the tournament organizers are like, why did she even come down here? Doesn't seem like it would be that good. That good of pay. Nevertheless, the gate opens. And a minotaur steps forth. kind of snorts and bays its hooves on the ground. Let's see how Lay does. It's a 19. Lay, very seasoned in fighting minotaurs, having already fought 3 minotaurs herself, smirks and looks at the beast. She taunts him, saying that he probably doesn't have very much money, and minotaurs, they usually don't carry much money with them, so she would be fairly on point with that. But she's not a bard, so it does no damage to the minotaur. And the minotaur charges, and goes for a swing. Lay steps to the side, and the beast just runs past. She stares at him, winks, and then looks up and to the right, to the side of the building, and then winks again, and then looks back at the beast. People are like, what? What the hell was up there? What are you doing? What are you looking? And then the beast gets itself back up and charges again. Tries to hit it with his mace. But he misses. She's too quick. She dodges it. Her long hair kind of like flowing in the air, like really feeling herself in that moment. This isn't even the toughest minotaur she had faced. And this minotaur gets completely styled on. It misses several attacks. She just dodges it over and over again, and then holds her sword high in the air. I will strike you down, you stupid beast! And it's glowing and radiant. And with the divine smite, she jumps and smashes straight through its chest with the sharpened sword and divine retribution. The minotaur thuds to the ground. Deader than any minotaur's ever been dead. Well done. People clap. Yeah, that was pretty cool. Yeah, nice. Whoa. Very strong. Some people chant, lay, 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 lay. And there's someone who runs over and says, hey, Lay, would you be down to do a magazine op-ed, interview about your crazy minotaur slaying moves? That was super insane. And also wanted to ask about what outfit you're wearing today, because it seems very expensive. Is that a designer outfit? What are your thoughts on the matter? Krez offers up a winnings to finance in the fight for August. Wow. The sponsors are like rather impressed. They're like, wow, you want to sponsor another fight and pay for another beast for us to throw out then? Well, suits me. Dr. Hyde from Heaven says, well done. There's a bit of a rumbling in the rocks on the roof of the Underdark. And you almost hear the kind of swaying of the mushrooms and the different sounds. And it sounds like there's some booming voice. And it says, well done. August does not clap at this. And says they will accept their paltry offerings. August steps out again with a freshly sponsored fight from Krez. And in the opposite corner is an Ettercap. Ettercaps are very ugly, spidery, nasty creatures. Has portly, weird-shaped pear body, skinny legs, and a spooky face. And the gate rises. And the Ettercap goes and rushes out to get you. It's a 16. The Ettercap was clearly no match for you. After you already defeated 2 Hakoras, this is just another dessert course for you, basically. You're very warmed up, having already dispatched 2 foes. The Ettercap, big mismatch. You have a lot of faith in your deity. You've had enough of this creatures killing people thing, and you step out with righteous fury, and you completely dumpster this Ettercap. The tournament organizers say, maybe we shouldn't send out Ettercaps. They're kind of crap. And people clap anyway. They're like, oh, that was a very one-sided fight. Well done. Very well done. That's 3 foes that you've slain. Lay smiles sweetly and does the interview with clearly embellished details on how she slayed the Minotaur without breaking a sweat. She flicks her hair over her shoulder, bragging with excessive and frankly baseless pride. Excellent.
Any last fights? Any last fights? This has been a great rumble in the Underdark, but we need a contestant. Well, need is a strong word. We're accepting contestants.
The tournament organizers look around and they see most people have fought or died already. They're kind of wondering if there's anyone left to step up.
Well, that may be the show that we've got here. Go on and buy some snacks. Everyone buy some snacks. We got meat and vegetables, grilled fresh, mystery meat. You never know what it is, but it's good.
But the food is not too seasoned. Crumplestiltskin smokes another cigarette. He's taking some pipe weed and smoking it a little bit. The ghost of Madrithnir. The tournament organizers should think about investing in their venue and installing more comfortable seating for the varied races. Madrithnir finds some way to commune with the living. There's a medium. There's a medium who's trying to channel ghosts. And this medium just gets possessed by Madrithnir and says,
The tournament organizers should think about improving the venue and making better seats.
and people are like, wow, they came back to speak with the living to tell them to make better seats at the venue? We must have really shitty seats. So then the tournament organizers go over and they start writing some things down about investing in some seats. Orgos says I need about 5 orders of mystery meat, please.
Coming right up.
And the concessions person goes over and grills up some fresh meat and gets you 5 orders, which are insanely overpriced for how gross they look. And as things dwindle down, a quiet goes over the people. Many of them are exhausted from fighting. Others are exhausted from cheering. But they've had a good time, except for those who died, who had a very bad time, a decidedly bad one. But their names shall be etched into the walls of this arena for all time, in honor of their boldness, their bravery, and their fury in the battle to the death. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been Twitch Plays D&D, Rumble in the Underdark. Thank you to all of our lovely participants. Very well done. Very good show. Very good show. Great to see these contestants putting it all on the line as part of Neuro Subathon 2025. I am extremely grateful for all of you. Thank you for making this segment fun, and thank you for making the whole Subathon a massive success. This is the final day, and this is the epic show. We continue with the stream. Well done. Well done. Round of applause to all of our brave contestants. Thank you for making a character. Thank you for describing it. You did a great job. Very easy to work with. I'm very proud of you. And for those of you who died, you are in heaven enjoying some better food than was served at the arena. We'll leave you with that. Thank you so much. This has been a very fun show. GG. Ancestors watch over you. Call out.